What kind of a fool trades a perfectly operating lawnmower for a broken one? This kind of fool does. Hello my friends, and welcome to Tom's Tinkering and Adventures. Well, the last lawnmower that I worked on, got it for free, got it working perfectly, and as I said, I was going to just give it away because there's not a lot of money in these lawnmowers, and you know, I can help someone out. I'm all about that. Well, a family friend from back in my son's Boy Scouting days was looking for a lawnmower because hers was broken. So I asked if she could bring over her broken lawnmower and I would trade her evenly for an operating one. So who wouldn't take that deal? And of course she did. And now here I am with another lawnmower that doesn't work. This one's actually maybe a little bit nicer lawnmower than the other one because this is a driven one. It's got the front drive. Unfortunately, the cables are all broken on it here. This one looks like it's still intact. I might be able to make that one operate, but the one to drive the front wheels is broken. And I don't like to spend money fixing a lawnmower to give away. I mean, I could spend money and then sell it. So what I'm probably going to do is try to at least just get it running and then see if someone wants it. And if someone wants it and is willing to pay for the cables, which aren't too expensive, it's probably $20 for the cables. So if I can get it running, it's probably worth the money to invest that. But we don't know anything about this lawnmower. I just offloaded it here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take it over, hose all this stuff off of it, clean it off underneath, and then we'll take this big lawnmower off the stand and we'll put this small one on there. So we'll see you back in just a minute. So here we have it after knocking some of the stuff off of it, and let me tell you, I think the former owner decided to mow through a wire and rope warehouse or something because there's a lot of that stuff wrapped around the blades and the drive axle on the front. So let that be a lesson to you to flip your mower over every once in a while and check underneath it. Looking at it, I spun the blade underneath, so the engine turned, so that's a good thing. And the drive wheels turn when you turn the pulley here, so that's good. One of the negatives to having these cables jacked up is that you can't turn we're not going to be able to pull the engine. And of course you can see that this cord needs to be rewound as well. I'll show you how to do that in a moment. But if you've been around lawnmowers for a long time, you probably remember before they had these kind of, they call them a Deadman Switch. When you have to hold this down to start it and run it. And then when you let it off, it kills the engine. It also applies a brake to the engine. And that whole mechanism is right here. Now this cable's not broken. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to take it off and I'm going to try to just loosen this, see if I can get some penetrating oil in this cable and get it operating. Maybe move this a little bit, see if that's holding it up, because when you let off this, it not only puts a brake on the engine, it also closes a contact which shorts out the coil. So we have to have this, we're either going to have to disable this or make it work, one of the two. So I'm going to take that off, we're going to take this off and rewind this coil starter here so we can at least pull it and see if we have spark. I always find it interesting how much stuff hides out underneath the covers here. I hosed this thing off pretty good, but there's still a lot of goodies underneath here. So after taking this pull starter recoil off, I am going to take it back out and blow it off a little bit more. I might just hit it with the air hose, we'll see. Clean it up, and then we'll get cracking on getting that thing working correctly again. Okay, for the time being, I have removed this safety that comes on all new mowers. Like I said, if you were mowing lawns in the 80s, maybe even up to the early 90s, and you had older mowers, you never had this on there. What this is a Deadman Switch, like I said. And when you push down on that bar, it pulls this thing in. there's a little brake pad sort of thing right there, and that rides up inside underneath this flywheel. So when you let off, the spring pressure pushes that against the flywheel, which stops the blades, and it also creates a contact right there. You see that little bent wire? So it touches that, and that wire connects over here to the coil. So it's sitting on that plastic block, it's isolated, and then when you close that off, then it touches this, grounds it to the motor, and shuts it off. So while safety is a vital thing, I think that the smartest safety switch is right here between here and here. You know, you ought to use your head. So what I can do is I can rig a push button that will go from that contact where this connects to up on the handlebars to a ground, and then all you have to do if you want to stop the engine is just press that button. In the meantime though, I have taken the cable out of this and I have it over here, and I'm putting a little bit of oil down in it. Maybe it'll bust loose, maybe it won't. We'll see. If I can get that one operating, that would be a bonus. We'll find out. I do have a cable oiler, but sometimes it just doesn't work that good on these kind of cables. So we just put a little bit of my secret juice in there. That's automatic transmission fluid and acetone, 50-50 mix, which I found works really good for soaking in on items like this. But for now, we can at least try to see if this mower has spark. So the next thing we're going to do is work on this recoil starter, pull starter. And I'll just move some stuff around here and get you set up so we can take a look at it. Well, I gotta admit, I was sort of looking forward to / not looking forward to going through one of these recoils. It's been a hot minute since I've done one of these, and it's something that fails. Well, it's an often occurrence on small engines that these fail, but as I was getting ready to set up, I just started pulling on it, and I saw some leaves and junk coming out of here, so I hit it with my air compressor, and a whole bunch of dirt and muck and stuff came out of there, and for now, it's working pretty good. And it's brought in enough cable, enough cord, I mean, that I think we're going to put it back on, and we're going to see if we have spark on this thing, because you know, step by step, we have to eliminate each thing. So before we could turn it over, we had to fix this, and before we can go any farther on this mower, I want to make sure we have spark. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put this recoil back on here and see if we have spark next. Ugly spark plug. Slightly less ugly spark plug. Let's go put it in, and I'm going to put you all over here to watch, and please let me know if we have spark. Okay, I got you in the dark, zoomed in, as close as I think I can get you here. Let's hope we can see this. And that plastic fell, but let's take a look at the footage. Well, I think y'all are telling me that we saw some spark there. So let's try a little proof of life concept on here. We're going to take a carburetor cleaner directly into the spark plug hole here, into the cylinder. And a couple of squirts. Screw in the spark plug. It's only got to be hand tight. And let's see if it makes a joyful noise. Combustion there. We'll try one more time. We'll try her again. Put a little more in there. That'll do her. All right, if you watch any of my videos, you already know carburetor's coming off. That's supposed to be your air filter. Don't do that to your mower, please. Look at that. That's terrible. I think this is a paper filter, but I might just end up washing it and hitting it with air to try to dry it out as much as I can, because oh my God, that's awful. That's probably why this mower didn't actually barely start when we pulled it, but it's probably led to the demise of it. So we'll see if we can't get that cleaned up, but please, please, please check your lawnmower air filters. This might be one of the ugliest, dirtiest, nastiest carburetors I have seen in a long time. So I guess we're gonna see what's gonna happen in the ultrasonic cleaner, but my goodness, this thing is bad. Well, hopefully we can save it. All right, it's not perfect, but it's considerably better, and I think it'll work. And here's the air filter. This thing is completely toast. It should be replaced, but we're just gonna try to get this thing running, and then if I move it on to another owner, I'll let them know what they should do. But that should be good enough to get it running. So we'll put this together, put it all on, and see what we got. Okay, so we're mostly back together here for an attempt to start it. I have removed the both the handles here actually for the drive and for the kill switch, and I just hooked up this wire to the coil. So when I want to shut it off, I can just touch that to here. For now, we're going to come up with a bit more elegant solution for that after the fact. But this should be enough to give it an attempt to start. This thing looks pretty dry rotted, but I can actually hear a little bit of fuel going in there. So let's see. If I can give it a couple pulls, if it'll start. Oh, there she almost went. Quite as lucky as the last time. The last mower, one pull. But we did hear some light. Okay, I'm going to try a little squirt of carb cleaner right in the carburetor throat here. Let's see what we get. I did put gas in it. Oh yeah. Watch that cardboard. She's being a little picky. There you go. Now I guess I will be able to show you how to restring one of these. Alright, I gotta apologize. I thought I was recording when I was doing that recoil, but I wasn't. So I dropped the ball on that, but while I had that off, I took the carburetor back off and noticed one or two things that I didn't get completely clean, and put this back together, and she's a beauty now. There's your kill switch. It's not running perfectly because it's not taking any throttle. It's not accelerating, and I think part of that is because of that air filter. The air filter is still a disaster. I washed it, which you're not supposed to do on paper filters. And it's still wet. So we're gonna put that out here in the sun and let that dry up. And in the meantime, I think what I'm gonna do is, I've got this little momentary switch. You just push it in one direction, and then it makes contact between these 2 points. So what I can do is just find a place to mount it up here for now. It doesn't have to be perfect or pretty. Maybe I'll even just zip tie it on for now, and hook that up to that green wire, and then hook this other terminal up. Well, we'll see if it'll ground out here. Otherwise, I just got to take it somewhere where it's going to ground. I can actually probably just try it out by getting it started and then touching it there. That's actually a good idea. That's probably what I'm going to do first, and then if that works, then I can figure that out, and then maybe if I get this thing running better, I'll make a little bracket for this somewhere here, so then you have at least a legit shut off from up here, rather than having to go down there by the blades. You know, safety third. So let me try that out and we'll see, and then I got a few other tricks up my sleeve to see what we can get this thing operating better. I wasn't sure what the future of this lawnmower was going to be at the end of the video there. I had actually shot another ending to this video, saying that I was just going to call it as it was, but I got a donation on my YouTube channel from one of my viewers, and I want to say thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. I'm not in this YouTube thing to make money. I'm mostly trying to hopefully make you smile, make you laugh, make you learn something, inspire people, that sort of stuff. So once I saw that, I decided, oh, let me go take a look and see how much parts are for this thing. And for $25, I got the drive cable. I have a carburetor, an air filter, spark plug, gasket for the carburetor, and some fuel line, and some clamps for the fuel line. So I'm going to install all these new parts, and we'll see how she runs. In the meantime, I wired in this toggle switch here, so we now have a somewhat legit on-off switch here. Now I wired that right in down here to that green wire, and then I put that one on to the block, grounding to the block. So when the switch is off, it connects these two basically up at the switch. So we're going to install them parts, and then I was mowing this morning and my lawnmower ran out of gas, so I called it where it was, and we will hopefully finish this little section in the middle of my lawn. We'll finish that up with this free mower and see how it mows. I already have someone in line to get this mower, so I'm going to test it out really well. So let's get that stuff installed and we'll see how she starts. New carburetor installed, new fuel line, new air filter, new spark plug, and I have the drive cable hooked up here. I put a little bit of fuel in there. Let's give her a few pumps. And now you can all laugh at me and see if it starts. Make sure we have this on. That's pretty good. Oh, I didn't see if the wheels worked. Let's check to see if the wheels work here before I take you on a drive. Make sure it's on. I'm pretty satisfied with that. Now, I'm gonna pull the blade off and sharpen it real quick and put the remaining, there's a couple bolts that I didn't install those, and we'll go out and do a hot lap on the lawn and we'll see how she works. All right, it's not a lawnmower if it's not mowing the lawn. Turn it on. Freshly mown lawn. Well, it's all weeds, but at least it looks green. It looks nice for now. And the free lawnmower did admirably, did well. Maybe better than my mower does. But my mower needs a belt, and it also needs the blade sharpened. Well, I sharpened the blade, but I need to change the belt actually. But I sharpened the blade after I mowed the lawn. But there you have it. Resurrected from the dead once again. Brought another mower back to life. So if you're in the local San Diego area and you have a dead mower, I'll gladly go pick it up. I enjoy working on them. Hopefully some of y'all are learning something and passing on the savings to you, the consumer. I already have a buddy lined up to get this one. I want to say a big thank you to my subscriber who sent me a donation which made this lawnmower possible. I really appreciate that. If anyone wants to donate to me, trust me, it's not going in the bank account because you know, you can tell I don't need it. I got, you know, a beautiful trailer and a beautiful lawnmower and a rotten deck here, so I have everything I need. So it's going to go right back into the channel and then back into the community as these mowers get distributed. So there is a PayPal link below in my description. Other than that, if you're liking what I'm putting down here, give me that thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, all that happy stuff, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Get out there and find your adventure. Adios.